but I'll start talking about myself. You know, I'm pretty easy talking about myself, but I think it's interesting to know the pathway from first year. Most of your first years? Yeah. Year one? Yeah? So originally, okay? Not too quickly, talking too quickly. When I started in osteopathy, it was in a college. I started in 1985. But before that, when I left school, I had no idea what osteopathy was. In Australia, there were only 100 osteopaths when I found out about osteopathy, so it's very rare. They were like the Tasmanian tiger. Have you heard of that? You know, they were not found in the bush. You had to search everywhere to find an osteopath in Australia. So therefore, I had no idea there was such a thing, such an animal. So I actually found myself being a nurse. You know what a nurse is? I think it's the same word in French. It's mostly women do nursing, and my sister was a nurse. So I saw that there was a lot of nice young ladies doing nursing, and I thought, that's a good place to go. I had no idea what nursing was going to be like, but I think I was interested in medicine then. So I did a nursing training. It was really good training when I was quite a young guy, 18, 19, 20. And I think it was a great training. You saw everything that humans go through when you're a registered nurse. So it was like a little bit of hospital training that I had. And after a few years of that, working in intensive care, or you call it acute care, accident and emergency, I realised I wanted to be the doctor. And by that time I'd seen enough of medicine in the hospital. I thought this is the broken car yard. I've got to use an analogy, a better one. It's like where all the wrecks go in the hospital. Before they were getting unwell, they were slightly sick, but now they're so sick you can hardly fix them. This is what it's like working in the hospital. Some of you may have already done this sort of work. So it frustrated me that you saw people with very bad heart disease, very bad cardiovascular events in their head injuries from car accidents, from too much drinking, too much obesity in Australia. So I had the impression that I had to be some sort of natural doctor. You know what I mean? Natural doctor. So it attracted me greatly when I discovered osteopathy. I just thought it's the most elegant form of natural doctor that I could find. All we need is a bench, our hands, and a good brain, good thoughts, and it's the cleanest version of natural medicine that I've ever felt. So it was a great moment to discover it. As I said, it was rare.
The title of my study is Osteopathic Approach of Pleura in Hyperventilating Syndrome. Hyperventilating syndrome, or HVS, is defined as an increase of respiration frequency, which the main consequences are hypocapnia and compensated respiratory alkalosis. Different symptoms such as breathing deeply, uneasily, tightness of the rib cage, palpitation are resumed in the Nijmegen questionnaire, which I use to choose my patients. Actually, there is like 16 items and 4 questions to answer. It's like, do you have some difficulties to breathe? Yes. Yes or no? Never, often, sometimes, always. So the aim of this study is to know if a prevalence of pleural dysfunction in hyperventilated person exists.
So it goes between 1 to 6.
Yes.
And it's a spasm that is on this right side mostly, but sometimes both sides.
Yeah, sometimes.
Never on the left side all the time.
No, never.
How long have you had this?
I think I had this for maybe 5 or 6 years.
Okay, so